Alright, I'm new here with my Super Nintendo collection, which is it's pretty solid. I'm missing a lot of good stuff, but I also have some pretty cool boxed stuff to make up for that. So that's cool. I'm also as you can see, my Super Nintendo like cart games are usually there, and my box stuff's over there. So as to not have just empty space, I decided to fill it in with some amiibo. So yeah, I'm showing off my Super Nintendo games, starting off with a kind of weird one. This has a funny story behind it. This is called The Adventures of Dr. Franken. It's really weird. I've never really seen it before. My current Super Nintendo that I have hooked up right here, the one I use, the one I'll probably always have unless it breaks down because it's like mint. I got it at a garage sale, complete in box, for $5. It came with a copy of Super Bowling for the 64. For anyone who doesn't know, that's like a $35 game. So that's like the deal just got better there. And then it came with Donkey Kong Country, which you can't go wrong, and it came with this. So, I mean, that was a fantastic lot, because a CIB system is great, and those two games were good. And then this one came with it, too, and it was, this is a really weird game. You play as, like, Dr. Frankenstein, but he's really 90s. Or not Dr. Frankenstein, just a Frankenstein monster. But he's really 90s. He has, like, you know, stupid shades and stuff. So it's a weird game. It's also pretty cheap. Batman Returns. I got this at a Salvation Army for like $3 or something, and it's a pretty good beat 'em up. Battle Clash. My local store called Best Buy. I mean, not Best Buy. Best Buy. Buybacks has like get Super Nintendo games in, and this was only $1.99, so I bought it. And now they only get this game in, it seems. But it was in good shape, so I decided to pick it up. I get a lot of games that I can get for cheap for the Super Nintendo that I don't have. So this is Daffy Duck. So I don't know what the subtitle is because I cannot read it. The Marvin Missions. Okay, I think this was like a couple dollars at a thrift store that donates their proceeds to like the community and charity and stuff. So I picked that up. I got this one at a weird flea market I went to on vacation. Home Improvement. This is not the most common game. Why it won't zoom? Okay, there we go. I was on vacation. We decided to hit a flea market. It was kind of a pretty poor flea market, but I picked this up for $5. It's not a very common game. It's not too expensive, but it's not very common. It's really good shape. Home Improvement. It's a really terrible game, but it's, I don't know. The novelty of it's kind of funny. Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country 2. And Donkey Kong Country 3. I found these all at like Goodwills and stuff for pretty good prices. So, yeah, I think these were all from Goodwills at some point. I think 2 and 3 were together, and then the first one was separate. All really good games for the Super Nintendo must-haves. This is another one from Buybacks that was really cheap. The Incredible Hulk. I have not played this, so I don't know if it's good or not. A lot of those Marvel games were pretty good for the Super Nintendo, so I'll have to see if that one is. This is James Bond Jr. I think this was at the same day I got that Daffy Duck game for a couple bucks at the same thrift store. This was the same day I got Batman Returns. Killer Instinct. This is a couple dollars too. I believe it was $2. I think both of those games were either $2 or $3. Another game from Buybacks. It was like $1.99. Metal Combat. It is a really crappy Super Scope game for anyone curious. This was the same day as the James Bond Jr. Daffy Duck Pack Attack. Don't know anything about this game. I think it's like a puzzle game, maybe. But I think this was from the same day as Pack Attack and whatever. I got Pink Goes to Hollywood. Oh, no. This was at a store called Game Surge, and I picked it up because it was 99 cents. Ooh, I gotta replace this back. No, I just gotta clean up this back. No, I think it's torn. I'll have to replace that back. But, yeah. This is from a store called Game Surge, and it was 99 cents. I think it's kind of funny that I can remember like what I paid for a lot of these games and where I got them. I don't really know. This is kind of weird. Pinocchio. I don't remember where I got this. But an old Disney game. I have not played this yet. A lot of those Disney Super Nintendo games were good. I wonder if this one is. Masterpiece Shaq Fu. Doesn't get much better than Shaq Fu. Really good game. Super Battle Tank War in the Gulf. I got this somewhere, I don't remember. It was really cheap, like $1 or $2. I think it was at a thrift store or whatever. Super Mario All-Stars, I picked this up at the Cleveland Console and Arcade Game Show, the CCAG, which is like a convention they do in Cleveland. It's a really good convention, so if you live in Cleveland, it's usually during the summer. Yeah, I got this for like $10 from a dealer, which is a pretty good price for it. And it's Mario All-Stars, a must-have. You can't go wrong with it. It has Mario 1, 2, 3, and Lost Levels remastered. Super Star Wars, I got this with Super Mario All-Stars, believe it or not. This was like $2 from that same guy. I don't know why he had it so cheap. But another really good game. I have Super Empire Strikes Back and Super Return to the Jedi. All pretty good games. They're really hard, though. Like, they are difficult games. Super Tennis, which was the same day as that Pack Attack and whatever. I think that's the last of the bunch from there. Super Mario Kart. I got this from Goodwill for like $2. It was actually face down, so I didn't know what game it was, and I expected it to be a crappy sports game, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was Super Mario Kart. Urban Strike. I don't know. I didn't know I owned this. Okay. And Wordtris, which I think was $1.99 at Buybacks as well. Buybacks is a weird store that gets retro stuff in. I've talked about them in some of my pickup videos. If you do not usually watch my pickup videos, I talk about them in my pickup videos. They price boxed stuff as like loose, so I go there, and then they get really random stuff in, and they don't know how to price it. I don't think any of the games that I showed off that I got for like $1.99 there or anything. I just thought I should tell you why I go to this store, because it's not a really good store otherwise. I got, moving on to my box games now. I have a decent amount, maybe 10 box games, 8 to 10 box games, and they're all pretty good titles. I love to collect boxed Super Nintendo games. The problem is they're expensive. But here I got Aladdin. This is a Capcom Aladdin, and this is the good one. The Genesis one's not as good, in my opinion. I know it's kind of divided on that stance, but I like the I like the Super Nintendo one a lot better. This is a really good like platformer. Batman Forever. I got this for like $5 at the exchange. Really, really cheap. Not the best of shape, but boxed Super Nintendo game can't go wrong. This game's awful. I think everyone knows this. It was a weird Batman game where like everything's like hyper realistic, like photorealistic, and it's just terrible. This one's one of my more proud ones. Final Fantasy III, like almost like pretty much mint condition. I traded a bunch of crap for this. The exchange, a lot of my stuff, my box stuff's from the exchange that I traded to get. This was $80, I believe. I traded about $60 worth of stuff. I had a PS2 and a bunch of really crappy games, and I traded that in to get this, and I really like this. Final Fantasy III is a great game, of course. Link to the Past, complete in box. This is a pretty nice shape. A little wear on the side, but other than that, really nice shape. And I'd like to get all the Zelda games complete in box. That's one of my goals of my collection. And I got this at MagFest for $50, I think. So I was really happy with that. This is another one I'm really proud of. Mega Man X complete in box. I traded. This is like mint too. This was at the same exchange. I think it was brought in by the same person as the Final Fantasy III that I got. And I traded a bunch of crap for this one too. I think I had a bunch of miscellaneous stuff extras and stuff I didn't want. I traded that in and only ended up paying maybe $35 for this because all that trade stuff took some money off. This one's weird. I went to the flea market. I can't remember if it's Memorial Day or Labor Day. I think Memorial Day. And they had just a bunch of stuff. This guy had a bunch of stuff in just bins, like plastic bins. I got a Sega Saturn from this guy for $10, and then I got this Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally by Sunsoft. That's what caught my eye. Plus, it was pretty decent shape, boxed game, and by Sunsoft. I have not played it, but I'm sure it's probably decent at least. And I also got, this is unrelated, but for the NES, I got Barker Bill's Trick Shooting. So the Saturn, Barker Bill's Trick Shooting, and that were all $20. I thought that was a pretty good deal. This one's kind of neat. I mean, it's nothing too special, but it is Space Invaders, but it is factory sealed. The store East Starland, a lot of people go there if they're going to MagFest, had this for $10, I think. So I picked it up. They have like a ton of this. I don't know why they have so many sealed Space Invaders, but I picked it up anyway because I thought it was cool. I don't usually collect sealed stuff though. This one's really nice. I picked this up from Exchange just because it was, I think it was $15. It's really nice shape. Street Fighter 2. Not the biggest Street Fighter fan, but you know, this is cool to have. I really like, I'm a big Capcom fan, so. This is really heavy. Like this and Final Fantasy 3, these games are heavy. Like, they come with big manuals and stuff. Really heavy games. You don't get that anymore. You really don't see too many manuals and stuff. But really cool to have. And another really cool one, this is my last one I have for my Super Nintendo collection. And it is Super Castlevania 4. Yeah, I talked about buybacks a little earlier. And this was another slip up on their part. I said they priced their box stuff as loose. So I got this for $36, I believe, complete in box, and that's a fantastic price for this. It smelled really badly of smoke, but I used dryer sheets and got most of that smell out. I don't really smell it anymore from this. So yeah, $36 for this was a fantastic deal. It's really nice shape and everything, and that's it. So that's my Super Nintendo collection. I'm missing a lot of good stuff. I know. Like, you tell me some of your favorite Super Nintendo games. I'm always interested to hear some hidden gems I might not know about, or anything like that. Make sure to comment that because I like to read that stuff and gives me some ideas of what I should get for my collection. I'd like to thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, because it really helps out a lot. And subscribe if you like my videos, because there's always more. I'm putting up at least 1 or 2 per week, so that's always good. And I'll see you next time.